It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
What? 315. 59. It's a party now. It's a party now. Front left, front left.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Wilson. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it's third down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Check 15. Check 26. Check 26. Hey, switch gears. Switch gears.
Now it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
It's a gain of 14.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 37-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Here's Wilson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Good. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. You won't get this. You're all mine. Slam.
Throwing is Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
3 bucks, 3 bucks, 3 bucks.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
What? 315. Set is the mic. You want this? Shit. Whip. Watch the whip. Pick the edge. Come. Switch. Move the team. Over.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On the return, Harris. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Ready.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
Jump. Ready, tackle.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Keep wide. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping. Shift.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Bravo. 56. Yeah, let's get that ball. Here we go. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Hey, here I come.
From the gun, it's Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards, the final tally.
Come on, one thing for sure, you know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a third down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
Ready?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Toss play, Kamara. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 8-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go one more. Show it up. Show it up.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Ready? 5-9. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Hey, easy. Motion. 51. 56 is the mic. I know he ain't got it.
Working from the gun, it's Brees. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Will Lutz on for the field goal. A 33-yard.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson, and that's complete to Luke Wilson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And a completion to Wilson. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. And an alley to Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 32-yard line.
Ready? You ready? Check. You're good. You're good. I'm full. Ready. Come on.
Throwing now is Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Ready. 5-8. 5-8. You kill. Screen. Hey, orbit. 49, guys. Mike. Hey, easy. Got one. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
One of the surprises of the first round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the 2nd round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns.
He resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns during his career at San Diego State for touchdowns.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Alert.
To throw is Wilson. To throw again. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Good, 4 down. 56 is the mic. Watch the run. 56 is the mic.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give him 14 on that one, and a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Rashad Penny. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wilson will find Metcalf. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10, and he will score! Touchdown, Seattle! Rashad Penny, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And there, the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And some space here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Murray. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a gain of 16 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Got you, boy. Kill. Shoot. Watch the shoot. Sammy! Rocky!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Quick!
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
He's not going to get me.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's got Lockett. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go, first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Stay with your man. Check 52.
Again, it's Kamara. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
56 is the mic. I got one. Shoot. Watch out.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, here's Wilson, forced out to his left. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Brees going to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
Third and 13.
Third and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here.
Hey, easy. 49. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe.
The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says, let's take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
Defense. Let's go, defense. Who we got? White 56. Easy. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Kill. Sammy.
Shotgun now for Brees. And he's going to go down again. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Penny, a first down carry. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Check 56. Let's go double count right here.
On second and 12, Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Switch it. Come on.
On third down, it's Carson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
It's fourth down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Wilson going to throw right side here, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And on 4th and short, they snag a gain of over 30. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Check, 59.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to Dissly, the tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Another try for Penny. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And now it's 2nd down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, easy. 36. 49 to Mike.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
53. Stay easy. Push him back. Push him back. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
56.
Breeze now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson throwing right, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Penny. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. They get out of bounds.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Opposite.
Back to throw, Breeze. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
12 yards on the return that time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Let's make these bets. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Let's go.
Here's Wilson. It's caught. Block it. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Carson, and he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Now Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 33 yards that time. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So now this one will rest on the right foot of Jason Myers.
A 30-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And it's It's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on